Let's see if it stays live.
What?
Yeah, you're live right now.
Okay.
So let him build back up.
How many viewers did we have?
At the time, almost 100, I think. It was 90 something.
God.
You were up into the 90s, so. Yeah, just try to stay right in that area that you guys are, and you'll be somewhere 13. Power flashes here. So it must have been something that was actually.
What's it saying?
Jim said that they had power flashes.
Okay, so that's
So,
what it was.
Yeah, it must have just been power flash real quick.
I'm sorry, everybody. It is a dark and stormy night. How every scary story starts.
Video already had 1,000 views.
Really?
We got 30 people now.
All right. Hello, everybody. Again, I apologize. Storms and high winds and Wi-Fi just don't mix. Again, I'm going to let you guys listen to some of the history of this place. I'm going to have one of the board members come on and tell you some of the history. And again, I implore you guys, come check this place out. Pay to tour it. It's well worth it. You'll never see a home like it. And again, this is opulent. This is the word. This is the definition of the word right here. Again, I'm going to let her come on and tell you guys again, and I'm so sorry about
You're
that.
fine. Hey, technology's only it's good when it works, right?
That's exactly right.
Well, I'm Chelsea Barnes. I'm one of the members of the Belmont County Historical Society. The Historical Society essentially was founded on this house. As Guy mentioned in the previous live video, this house was almost torn down to make way for a gas station, and the founding members just kind of grouped together and decided we're not going to lose this small town treasure, and made it into the museum. We hit our 50th anniversary as the Belmont County Victorian Museum. The house has had a much longer history than that. The Bradfields started construction on it in 1888 and completed it in 1893. And one of the reasons why it took so long is because they were building the bank, which, if anybody's familiar with downtown Barnesville, second red light where Patrick's is on your right, there's the bank right there on your left. Bradfields were a pretty big deal. The parents of the Bradfields had built the house. They came over from England. They started off with farmland, and just over the years, that's how they kind of started, gaining their fortune. And they built the bank. The house and the bank shared construction workers, and if you've been to the house before, you can probably see why it took so long, even just with coming through the entryway. We've tried to keep as close to period as we can, and this house has aged really, really well. We recently had the back porch remodeled thanks to some generous donors. The third floor ballroom was just re-wallpapered over the summer, and that's kind of like the icing on top of the cake there. We have 3 pieces of original furniture. When the house was auctioned off, everything kind of went to their own separate locations, and over the years we've managed to get some of those original pieces back.
That's really awesome. That's really awesome. Again, I consider it a privilege and an honor to be here tonight with these guys allowing us to come in. I can't help notice but your crystal.
Yeah, it's clear quartz. My sister went to Mount Rushmore on a trip, and she brought it back to me, and I've had it for, oh goodness, at least 10 years now.
You know what quartz is used for?
It's usually used for a lot of like workings and things like that. Since it's clear, it kind of helps.
It's very good with spiritual connections.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't know if you do that or not.
I kind of had a feeling.
Yeah, quartz has been used for years and years and years to help with spiritual connections. And also clear spiritual connections. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Again, everybody, how you guys doing tonight? We're live in Barnesville, Ohio, at the Barnesville Mansion Victorian Museum. And let me just show you guys something. Look at this place. I want to again thank her and thank the members for allowing us to come in. We're the very first paranormal team to ever come in and investigate this place. I want to just show you guys some of the extravagance of this home. And you got to think, in 1888, everything was done by hand. There was no tools, there was no machinery to do these things. Spin that camera around here, and I want to show you something. This is very well always talked about, but this griffin right here, look at that. Look at the griffin. This, and this, and these. I mean, this took days and days and days of craftsmanship to refine. And if you look, they're all perfect. I mean, and it's just, look at this. What do they call this? Fretwork?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fretwork. This is just, again, you will never see a place like this. Oak, woodwork all throughout the house. And it's just beautiful. I'm speechless when I'm trying to find nouns to describe it. It's speechless.
Why do you want to do a walkthrough of it?
Yeah, we can do a little bit of a walkthrough.
Now, this would be the old hard oak, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think this wood was harvested from around the area, wasn't it? From around
They
Barnesville?
try to use like local sources and even local craftsmen. I know butternut was used for a lot of the fireplaces too.
Butternut?
Mhm.
Oh, that's a classic wood. You don't even hear about that no more.
No, it's really rare nowadays.
Yeah. Oh, you can see it too, because it's a slightly different color than the rest of it. I mean, yeah. You guys heard me talk about before, and other people, the Doane Kate theory. Well, I believe the wood holds memories. And these things, people go by here and they touch this every day. And every time a bit of their energy gets relayed into this. Can it hold memories? And can it be released? That's up for debate. But when you are in a house that's with this much wood and this much trim work in it,
It's not only that, but the woodworker who put all the time and labor and love into it, doing it. Gotta be something there.
that'd be something else. Now, when I was in this house last weekend, there was 3 places I really, really felt a high energy. One of them was the growlery. Is that how you
Growlery, yeah.
Growl?
They named it after a gravel or like a stein. I always kind of call it, for modern day translation, it's kind of essentially the man cave.
The man
That's
cave.
where the men would go, talk shop, drink their cigars, sign any important paperwork. So
And again, during those times, there was a room for the women and a room for the men. As weird as that was, whatever, but I mean, that was Victorian times. Victorian times was very, very different compared to today. Like I said, the Ingle milk, what do they call it? The Corning fireplace?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then just the little details like the beam up the edges of all the woodwork. Really.
It is. Let's experiment. Let's see if you can hear me, Ryan. Let's just see that piece right there. See, you can move it back and forth. And it is kind of like right inside. That's great.
Just a little,
It was whispered, like it was like this. Now this, I've never seen one of these in a house. I'm sure there's other houses like this, but this is
imagine cold Ohio's winter, sitting here, fire going, all the heat coming up around and come back down to you.
outside. Hey, all times and so these don't happen anymore. And it's just pretty cool. inlays. This is crazy.
I actually wanted to point out to you that photo on the fireplace there.
Yeah.
Sherry, if I'm correct, is that a photo of Earl herself on that fireplace?
You might have problems with the black and white photos picking up on video.
I'm gonna try to bring it in on it if you
I
want.
don't know, but I don't know that that's her. I don't think it is. I think it's just a photo of somebody from the period.
I can smell some weird smell right here now. It just went right by me.
Yeah, it barely picks it up.
Like a burning almost, almost like a pipe smell, smoke. Could even be, no, it's gone. It's just for a second. Again, I mean, look at the detail. This right here.
And I mentioned something about the fire burning, so it might relate some memory in the spirits or in that area of the fireplace going. Even.
Like the little inlays on the floor and stuff. This right here is just, this is top notch. I mean, there's no word I can find to accurately describe this. But I do feel something. I do feel something. I feel a nail. And I feel he has mutton chops. He has a mark on his forehead where he must have wore a hat at one time. So what would this room be? Would have been?
This would probably be one of the parlor rooms. Again, if they were entertaining company, like you mentioned before, the gentlemen would entertain in one room, the ladies in another. So if they were expecting a lot of company, they would open up one of these rooms with the doors right here. There's even another set of hidden doors right here too. And if you look in between this fireplace and here, you see the reflection there.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
It
That's
kind of reminds me of like
cool.
Alice in Wonderland, where she goes into the looking glass.
That is cool. It just looks like it just goes on forever.
Really makes the room feel that much bigger.
And if they weren't expecting company, they would shut the rooms off, help conserve.
Yeah.
And then this fireplace right here, there's a bevel here. You want to guess what that's for?
I have no idea. Scrying?
No, it was more for practical, fashionable purposes. You know, ladies, their fashion was a lot more stricter. Can't show your ankles, high necks, maybe not even show their wrists. So they would use this to check maybe their petticoat, make sure nothing was showing. Or if you were wearing tails, you would make sure everything looks all nice and proper.
Wow. That is cool right there. Yeah, you can check everything.
And this parlor right here was where Sarah Bradfield married Earl Watt.
Now
Like,
that's
yeah,
where
the
the
Watts
Watts come
Museum.
in on the history of this home. The Watts was also a very powerful family in Barnesville, Ohio. They created the Watt factories, the Watt car and wheel.
And Pearl and Earl lived in this house until when, like 1950s, or when they auctioned off the house in the 60s.
Early 60s.
Yeah, and they only lived on the first floor. And again, there are people in town that remember coming here for trick or treat, and little Pearl and little Earl coming to the door and giving them candy.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. And pocket doors all throughout the house is just cool. This is probably the north tower part.
The turret, yes, the
The
turret
turret.
goes from the basement all the way up to the third floor.
And again, look at the detail. This stuff right here is plaster. That is plaster inlay. That is artistry to the 10th degree.
And how they would pretty much apply that, they would do that on canvas and pretty much do it that way, and then kind of peel it off and put it on the wall. Kind of reminds you of like cake frosting on a wedding cake.
Yes, it does. And I mean, and look at the little pearl inlays. It almost just, It's crazy to think that the time it took to do all that, for days,
Yeah.
And again, like, look at this little round inlays on this little dental molding, the carvings on the pedestal. Wow, it's just, again,
A lot of work, nothing but handles.
no wonder it took 5 years to make this place. That's just, I know the same workers was working on the bank, but still, just the designs alone, I can just see why it took so long to build it. What did Boo Buddy say? Now this is the dining room to the right.
Yeah, straight ahead is the dining room here, and the entrance that everybody uses to come in, this would have been like an uninvited guest
Yeah.
entrance. The main doorway would have been for family and invited guests to
Okay.
come in as well. But yeah, this is the dining room right here. And somewhere on the floor, they have a floor buzzer. So if they needed refreshments or a refill or any more, they would just discreetly push that floor buzzer, and then they would come through. They only had 2 servants that lived in this house.
Oh, wow.
They weren't live-in servants. They would actually walk here every day to perform their duties, but they were still given rooms. That way, if they ever had to stay the night or if they just needed to work somewhere.
Yeah, and this would have been their kitchen, right?
The kitchen would have been further back. That was the winter kitchen, but this little hallway here would have been where they might have done like the finishing touches for the meals, poured the tea, sliced up the meat, A lot of the Victorian homes did have this little kitchen hallway too.
Yeah. This is just awesome. Right
And actually, the piece that you were just behind there, that is one of the original pieces of the house.
here, this is
That is original to the house.
marble top.
Mhm.
Wow. Again, look at the detail.
Now, is that what they would have had positioned, or is there any knowledge of where?
Not to my knowledge, but we figured it would maybe keep silverware or tablecloths.
Does it look like it had a lock on it at one time?
I don't know if we have the key to it still.
I saw someone that donated one of the original front door keys, the inside. It's the one hanging over on the wall
Yes.
there.
Yeah, it's hanging on the wall right next to me.
That's pretty loud. There.
The windows, the double trim, the jack right there. And this is bronze, right?
No, that is actually Lincrusta. It's like
And crossed
an early version of laminate. They would essentially take like wood pulp and just push it together, and they would paint some sort of finish over it to make it look like bronze.
Okay, and that's original to the home.
Yes, this is original right here.
This is awesome. That's just killer.
See if you can get it closer.
I'm gonna try.
He tries zooming on the camera on the top.
Yeah.
Now, who is this fella?
Isaac Barnes. John Denny Barnes.
Okay. Now, ironically, Bradfield also inherited some of Barnes's land after he passed away, didn't he? Like some of the cigar factories and stuff. Like they ended up with some of his holdings somehow. The Bradfields did. Again, and look at the floor, like this right here. Today, they have machines that will do this for you. Back then, this is all hand carved. And of course, I'm not sure in the 1880s, I don't think there was machines that did this, was there?
No, this would have been hand inlaid
That's,
by a carpenter.
oh, watch the marble behind you in the fireplace. Thank you. Yeah, this is just insane. I love it. This house, as big as it is, and as much as it's in here, it feels very homey. It feels kind of like home. When we was here last week doing the book signing during the psychic fair, I just sat here and I'm like, oh, I'm going to pack up and go. I'm not selling nothing or whatever. But I didn't. I just couldn't. I just kept sitting here and like enjoying myself, and it's just a really, really great atmosphere. And again, this is an old style, what is that, a track for the door, or is that just where they laid the new floor over top of the old?
Yeah, I think that's just where it kind of lays down. Did you notice it's
It helps.
kind of,
I think it does help guide the door.
yeah. And it's a little uneven.
Yeah, I can see right over here where it's got the lip where it looks like it used to guide the door. I don't know if that's just a spot, but.
It's just neat to see how they did things back then. Because nobody puts pride into the stuff they do anymore.
No.
It's fair to say.
Yeah, it's all track homes and 84 lumber homes and Carter lumber homes and this is right here is the real deal.
This is a very good example to look at to see how things are done. Good. Everybody's there talking already.
Yeah, he's on it. He's trying.
All right. Well,
Again, look at the like the marble ways in that. That is just
Well,
off the hook.
Tile there.
Actually, that fireplace, if you look inside of it, there's actually a portrait of Odysseus. A lot of the Victorians really liked like the Greek and Roman.
There's all
Yes,
these
yes.
stalls.
Mhm.
Yes, this is a Romanesque Victorian, isn't it?
Mhm.
You can tell. That's
Oh, yeah. Get around.
oh yeah. Wow.
it's just too bad
That
there's
is
no
awesome.
off light.
That is
Unless you put
awesome.
try your phone light, Ryan.
No, they can't
Don't have it.
do a flash.
And again, these cool little dolls. These things are awesome. Like I could imagine if you guys worked here and you come through here in the dark and like you just forgot about it and turn the light on. I could see you guys being like taken aback a little bit.
Yeah, there was a gentleman from West Virginia. His name was Pete Ballard. He did a lot of costuming for like theater and movies, and he over the years he never really threw away any of his scrap fabric. And when he retired, he made these dolls. And when he came here to the museum, he again was awed, just by coming through. And a lot of these dolls were donated by him. He actually made a doll for us. He made a maid. She's somewhere around here. I think she's on the second floor. The maid that he made.
I think she's in the bedroom.
She kind of floats in between the second and third
Well,
floor.
yeah, she moves around.
She's doing her
Well, she's
duties.
a good worker.
Yes.
Just the detail and stuff, and we're always talking about the history of things and how things get forgotten and how imperative it is to remember things and times in the past. And just little cool things like this. It just reminds me of like from Gone with the Wind or something, or just really cool. And that guy passed away, didn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah. Now I'll show you guys the powder room that has the gold inlay. You're not probably gonna be able to see it because we're in night vision. I'm smelling that smell good.
I smelled it as soon as I stepped through into this little
Mhm.
section here.
It smells like pipe tobacco.
Almost unburnt. Like
Almost, yeah, unburnt, like it was just, like they just packed their pipe. I'm smelling it again here. Wow. And this would have been the main entrance, correct?
Yes.
Look at this. This is.
And here's that key I was talking about. The original inside front door keys.
Yeah.
And here we got a $50 bill, 1929, First National Bank of Barnesville.
That is awesome.
Let's try to zoom in on that one.
I like my house. I don't know what place to go. Said mine's a lot noisier. It's like.
It's not coming in. I'll have to read it.
Okay, so when we move in upstairs, let's move these tripods in a little bit.
Yeah.
Again, this is the powder room. This is just off the hook. Wow.
What, 22 karat gold?
22 karat gold inlay wash basin surrounded by red ruby marble. Look at that. That is gold.
Quite literally.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, the original bottom to the walls and chair rails with their little. I can feel something in here. I feel a female thing in here. Like something. I don't know what it is. I feel something. Grandma? Grandma? And this here would be the man cave. Now, when I was here the last time, this is where I seen the man. He looked like he peeked around the corner. And again, wait,
Ryan's up there.
the picture on the wall looked like him a little bit.
That was
John Bradfield, the father of the John Bradfield who built this house.
Okay, okay. Now, did his son also have mutton chops?
I don't believe he did. The one photo we have, he just has a mustache.
Just a mustache? Because I seen a guy with mutton chops, but I don't know.
He's the father of the Bradfields that built this house.
Again, this.
Here's where that pipe smoke smell could have been originating from.
Well, that is where they would sit around and smoke and.
They got all their
This is
pipes.
theirs. Again, we have to be careful. This is a museum. So I implore you guys, please be careful.
Very careful.
Be more careful than you got.
Oh, wait, what? I'm careful. I'm being careful. Now this is where my back was starting to hurt really, really bad. Now this was top of the line technology back in the day, right here. Can you imagine that today? Now today we have computers in our hands. How far the technology has jumped from then. Within less than 100 years, we put a man on the moon. We went from horse and carriage to put a man on the moon. It's crazy to think. For 400 years before that, we drove horses, you know? And yeah. And then in a short period of time, we went from that to the technology we have today.
That right there is really, really cool. The
Now
3D tile.
That
That
is,
tile came from Zanesville, Ohio. And again, keeping with the Greek mythology, Roman theme, that's Diana, the goddess of the hunt. So she fits right in with the growlery.
right, right. And again, it goes again with that Romanesque style of the hunt. It's all very themed, very well.
They might not be able to realize it in photo or in video, but this image actually sticks out probably about a half inch.
Yeah, it's hard to see on this.
It's very well detailed.
Yeah, you can feel it like the breast protrudes. That's kind of weird. This year, I keep getting some weird feelings about this. I almost feel like this was something they keep behind it. A hideaway. I almost feel like this is some sort of something. I feel like it was empty, but I will.
It does sound hollow.
It sounds hollow. But again, look at the detail. This is.
It's just one of those things you gotta see in person to really appreciate it.
And again, I implore you guys to come and check this place out. And this is something that we need to do to keep preserving the history of this area. And they've done a great job at preserving this place. Really great job. Now this, I keep feeling this man in here. He looks kind of like that. He has mutton chops. Does that dude have mutton chops?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it.
Yeah, a little bit like it, but it don't look like him. It doesn't look like him. Mutton chops, and he's got a red line across his forehead from where it looks like he's been wearing a hat or something. Feel that over there? Huh? It's weird, isn't it? You can feel it, like you can almost feel it up here. They're still here. after all these years.
Place like this, I don't think I'd want to leave either.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Now, what is funny is, what's underneath this?
Furnace.
The furnace is just under this little lift right here? Okay, okay. This is pretty awesome. Just, I do feel somebody in there, please. He's gone. Jacob? John, Jacob, something like that? Is there a Jacob?
There was
I don't
John.
know if any Jacob, but there are two Johns.
That was Boo Buddy, and he just said something.
Sound like a people up there.